Hollywood Heartbreak. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapine of allbengals.com, and the dream season is over, and it hasn't ended. It didn't end the way everyone watching this had hoped, right? And really, really unfortunate. The final score here, 23-20. The Rams get it done. They beat the Bengals, and, well, they coulda, shoulda, woulda in so many different ways, had an opportunity, had a chance to win their first ever Super Bowl title. And instead, well, they go home with AFC title for the third time in team history, but that elusive Super Bowl title in that Lombardi trophy is not coming back to Cincinnati. And that's where I want to start, honestly. That's where, I look at this whole season and what a ride, and all of the fans that I've met, and it's like, damn, this close. This goes close to seeing everybody that was so excited about this game and excited all season, and, they didn't finish. And, there's so many things that I'm going to, get into about this game, but I just want to talk to you for a second about that, because I know this is painful. I know it hurts. I know it sucks. Some of you have probably gone through this all three times, right? Whether it's Super Bowl 16, Super Bowl 23, or today in Super Bowl 56. But all you can ask for as a fan, as a team, and I said this when I did my pregame stand-up, is a chance at a world title, a chance at the one thing that's so elusive, that's so hard to do in any sport. And the Bengals had that chance today. And there were multiple times where they put themselves in position to potentially hoist the Lombardi trophy. But they were one play away. One play on defense, a play on offense, everything's different. But they couldn't do it. And let's go back to that final sequence. It's 20-16. And the Rams very aggressive. They go for it on fourth down. They're moving the ball with Cooper Kupp, and it's Cooper Kupp. It's the Cooper Kupp show. And right then you're like, man, are they going to be able to get off the field? And then, like they always seem to do, it was third and goal from the 8-yard line. Logan Wilson makes a play. It's going to be fourth and goal. Now suddenly the game potentially on the line. This defense has stepped up and been big and big and big all year long. Looks like they're going to do it again, and the flag comes out. And I'm not here to make excuses, and I'm not going to complain about calls, because the Bengals have overcome bad calls this year. That one seemed a bit egregious. The other two, probably not, but not egregious, right? I think Eli Apple there, it's one of those things, though, where they've always overcome it. And the beauty of those penalties, if there was beauty, it made sure that the Rams had to stop the clock, and it stopped the clock. So the Bengals kept their timeouts. They got the ball back, $1:25 left. You're like, okay, Joe Burrow, I get it, he's limping. I get this offensive line is what it is, but they have a shot to go down and at least get a field goal. And that first play to Chase, I'm like, okay, that's what's going to happen. They're going to go down and at least get a field goal, and we're going to be talking about overtime. And, it's never not a close game, right? It seems like all of these games have gone down to the wire, and it's just kind of routine. That's what's going to happen. And then they get the play to Boyd. And then 3rd and 1, it's Samaje Perine. And I like Samaje Perine. He had a big play in the AFC title game. At the same time, is Joe Mixon on the team still? I would have given the ball to Joe. And there were multiple times during this game, 3rd down, 4th down, the 4th and 1, where Mixon's not on the field. And I don't understand that. I don't get it. And that's the part of this, looking back, just from a personnel standpoint. You want your stars to be stars and star moments. And Joe Mixon wasn't even on the field. And to my knowledge, he wasn't injured. So certainly something that I'd be paying attention to. Speaking of injuries, Joe Burrow had a noticeable limp after he talked to us with the media. Clearly he was upset. Said he was going to celebrate the year because he didn't want to not celebrate what this team had done. And, that's good. He should. But clearly disappointed, clearly bothered. And it's one of those things. I was talking with Mike Petralia of CLNS Media about this. It's really, really hard to get here. And so when you get here, you really got to take advantage of it. And when you don't take advantage of it, you never know when you're going to come back. And that's the thing to me. The 81 team, right? Did they go back in 82 or 83? The 88 team, did they go back? There's a lot of people talking about bright future and all that, and I get it. I understand it. The Bengals, they could add to their roster. They're going to have cap space. They're going to be able to do all that this offseason. I get it. I get it. But it was right there. It was right there. And the offensive line was a joke tonight. Let's call it like it is. And I get it. The Rams front is amazing. I understand that. But Burrow was hit and hit and hit in the second half, sacked 6 times in the second half. That doesn't include the final play where he had no time. And so that's the story. That's it. You know, as much as it is anything else, this Bengals team had a shot, but the offensive line couldn't hold up. And that has to do with who they picked in the second round. Jackson Carman couldn't get on the field. He was supposed to start day one, compete for a starting job day one. I asked Frank Pollock that on draft night. Jackson Carman wasn't out there. It was Akeem Adeniji. And I'm not saying Adeniji shouldn't have been out there, but what I'm saying is when you have a second rounder like that, you have to hit on it, or you need to spend money to address the offensive line. And so, you know, that's the part of this. If the Bengals had been a little more aggressive offensive line-wise, and this felt inevitable at some point, but they just kept overcoming it, at some point it's going to catch up to you. And they're 2 plays away today from being world champs. And that could have been a $5 million a year right guard if they had signed him last March. And again, they signed all these guys on defense, and they made a bunch of plays. Even the night, you hold a team to 23 points, you feel pretty good about it. You needed one more play. And that play probably needed to come from the offense, and they couldn't get it done. And another key moment, because again, these games, they come down to 1 or 2 plays. Tyler Boyd, ball in his hands, and I asked him about it. He's like, look, I don't have drops, and he doesn't. He hasn't had a drop all season. He had a drop there in a crucial moment. He said he's not going to get down on himself, and he shouldn't. But that's a play, and I thought about it in the moment. I was like, oh, my God. There was like 6 minutes left, 7 minutes left in that range. Now you have to punt the ball back to the Rams, and, the Bengals, they didn't get the ball back until 1:25 to go, and they were trailing. And so those are the moments. Those are the plays. Those are the things that I'm going to remember most about this game is the offensive line, is Joe Mixon not being in there in key situations. The Tyler Boyd drop is certainly one. And, Samaje Perine, some were talking about where the ball was spotted and stuff like that. I don't know. But I do know that 34 in the game on a big play when 28's on the sideline, doesn't that seem weird? It seems weird to me. By the way, I love the creativity in the first half with the T. Higgins touchdown where Joe Mixon throws the touchdown to T. Higgins. That was awesome. Love that. Love that from Zach Taylor. But there's things I don't love, like the Mixon part. Like, if you trust him to throw it, right, your running back, maybe trust him to run it on 3rd and 4th and 1. And so I think that's something this coaching staff will have to look at a bit. And it's just tough. It's just tough. It's tough on the team. It's tough on the city of Cincinnati. It's tough on Bengals fans everywhere. It's tough on all the fans that were here. And it stinks, and it sucks, and it hurts. And I understand that for you. So I wish that this was different because I think it would have meant so much, like I said, to Cincinnati. I think it would have meant way more than it does here in Los Angeles. And I'm not afraid to say that because I think it's so damn true. And people I know that live in Los Angeles residents that I trust say the same thing. So that close, unfortunately, it didn't happen. I'm sorry. I know the feeling sucks, but that's where they're at, and that's where the Bengals are at. And the good news is that they do have a bright future, and there will be days to talk about that future and the quarterback and this young nucleus and this team like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins that just snatched Jalen Ramsey's soul on 2 different plays. A 46-yarder in the first half for Jamar Chase. He one-handed that bad boy. And then T. Higgins, man. And I know he got away with one there, and that's why I'm not going to question the flags too much. But, man, doing that against Jalen Ramsey, that's tough to do. So it's tough right now. I know people are excited for Andrew Whitworth. That's great. But, I care about Bengals fans and our watchers and our viewers and our readers and everybody that has supported us all season long. Just know that we aren't going anywhere. We aren't going anywhere. We've enjoyed this run. We are excited about what's next, and we're going to have a little bit more on the game, and then we'll start to get into the offseason and things like that. So it's, again, not the result you wanted, I know. Certainly not something I'm excited to do is record a video after a loss, but that's that's where we're at. So I'll sign off for now at SoFi Stadium. It is a gorgeous venue, by the way, but it didn't come out the way everybody had hoped. So for Andrew Fox Miller, our editor, I'm James Erpine, signing off for now right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.